Hello, hi, hello. So we are here again with a Motivation with Me podcast. It's a Finance Friday, and I got something special for y'all. Huh? I got something special for y'all. Y'all gonna love this one. Now we about to hop in this thing. But before we hop in this thing, let me first apologize now for my audio. Uh my podcast, my internet, my mic, something wouldn't let me be great. But it don't matter what I gotta say. What matters is what the guest has to say. And y'all gonna see who the guest is. Well, more like hear who the guest is. I'm not finna spoil it because it's coming in just a second. Y'all hear the nails? Yeah. Hello, hi. But before anybody say it, I know. Okay, I know I'm aware. Hi, I'm aware. I feel like I had to put that disclaimer in there. Don't know why, but whatever. We finna get into this Finance Friday. So I'm gonna need you to grab your pen and your paper and take notes because this is some good information. Again, what I say don't matter. It's all about the guest because she is about to lace y'all up on some much needed information. So let's get into it. I got something special for y'all on Finance Friday. So we have Mrs. Vanessa Winfree in the building. Technically not in the
Hey.
building, but in the building. And she is gonna tell you everything I can to when it comes to financing and budgeting and debt because if y'all listen to me, life is gonna be terrible. So she is the co-founder of AV Winfree. You guys will remember I did a Black business shout out, small business shout out for them in the last season. So I'm gonna let her do the talking because y'all don't need to hear my voice. Hello, Vanessa. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me today.
Of course. Thank you for joining us. So
Yes.
I'm gonna dive. Oh, let me clear my throat. Look, I'm out here sniffles. I do that every time. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and about AV Winfree?
Yes. Okay. So, my husband and I, Ashton, we became debt free in 2020. So, we actually started November of 2018, and then we ended mid 2020. So, in the whole COVID crisis. And we paid over $100,000 in debt, which consisted of mostly student loans, but also one car loan. It consisted of some credit cards and some medical bills as well. And so AV Winfree is it's our personal finance consulting business. And what we do is that we help people create a budget that is customized for them based off their situation and their goals. And so we sit down with people, we get to know them and their spending habits, and then we figure out what is best for them to cut, or even just like business aspect. If they have talents, like how can they increase their income? And ultimately, our goal is just to inspire. So we are on social media, and I do post like some tips and some funny reels, but it's just to inspire people to get comfortable with the idea of talking about money and trying things with money, especially people that look like us, that may have a similar background that, maybe money wasn't always available to them or money wasn't always discussed in the same room. Like if you're not adult, we're not talking to you about it, kind of growing up. Um, and so we just want to talk to people, making sure that financial conversations can happen. And we also share our life after debt experiences. And so we didn't, I didn't document personally on my social media so much about our debt free journey when I was in it, but sometimes I would drop some things there. But definitely afterwards, we share our accomplishment, but now we're sharing what is it like after debt, just to kind of inspire other people to know like this is the why. So whether we're traveling and we're traveling more, or we're dining out, and just how our budget has changed for the better.
I love it.
Yes.
Especially because truth moment, the student
Hmm.
loans, I think I owe like $108,000.
Hmm.
Uh
Yeah, we were like around 70. And it's funny because you know, I got married while having debt to someone who had more debt. And so, it's just like, dang. But we hashed it out together, and yeah, student loans can be a lot.
Yeah, they are. On top of credit card debt, that's about
Hmm.
11,000 right there. And car loan is about 17. So I'm definitely, look, I am an avid supporter and participant of AV Winfree, especially the
Yes,
color
thank you.
receipts. Let me tell you, I've been coloring receipts.
Yeah.
They got desktop backgrounds. Who you think
Hmm.
put me on Fetch? See, I put y'all on because Vanessa put me on.
You got
And
that
I
referral code?
look, I definitely be scanning them receipts,
Yes.
all kind of stuff. I
It's so funny. Ashton be looking at me side eye, trying to get them points. I'm like, I get my $10 Amazon gift card.
I
No,
see
I'm on Amazon.
exactly that. See, that's my kryptonite. Amazon and
Hmm.
Starbucks is literally hates all my money. But I've been doing good with Starbucks. I went from like every day or twice a day to like once a week, maybe.
Okay. Good job.
Good for me. Like
Yes.
my friends are like, "What?" I'm like, "I know, right? It's crazy." So I like how you said,
Good.
especially for us, like as we grow up, a lot of times in the minority household, it's not talked about. Like finances aren't
Hmm.
talked about, credit isn't talked about,
Hmm.
none of that. Like we don't
Hmm.
learn it, they don't teach it in schools. So I like
Well,
how
they
you
do they do teach it in schools now.
now, yeah.
I work in education. That's
Mm-hmm.
my full-time job. And yeah, they have like a financial literacy class. I
Okay.
just think that, you're not applying that knowledge, right? You don't know what you don't know until like you need to know it.
Mm. Yeah,
So,
they didn't have that back in my day.
yeah,
And Ashton got his degree in finance, right?
he did. Yes.
Okay.
So, his MBA.
Okay. Yeah, we went to undergrad together. That's the homie. Shout out to Ashton. What's up, big
Yes.
brother?
I'm wearing my Sam Houston shirt today, actually, for
Okay.
you.
See the little hats.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what y'all repping, but that's what we repping. Okay,
Yeah.
so my next question is, and all these questions are for me, honestly, I'm being honest with you.
Oh, you might have to
Um,
cut that out.
what girl, I'm not cutting nothing now. Look around me, what's happened? Hello, hi,
My
hello.
dog. Yes.
Hey, doggy, what's going on? You
Hmm.
can be a part of the podcast too. My next question: what are the best ways, in your opinion, to budget?
The best ways. So, in all honesty, I definitely think that can look different for everyone based off their situation. So I could say like that you should give every dollar a purpose. So, so that you budget to zero, but that could be overwhelming for someone. And so that's why like it's helpful to get to know someone and how much they can chew. So I think the best way would be to have some sort of plan, right? Think about when you travel, you might plan it to the T, or you might just plan like, we have an hour to chill by the pool, or we can, spend the evening here. So definitely have a plan. And just like a business aspect, I think of like this acronym. It's called API. I learned this in grad school as well. But so it's APIE. So A is to assess, P is to plan, I is to implement, and E is to evaluate.
Hmm.
And so I think about that even financially, right? So you assess, you look over your spending, list all your loans, get to know your habits, and then you plan. So you build your budget. And it could be helpful to over budget, right? So you have your different categories. You might have like a housing category. Um, you might have your transportation category. And let's say that you're going to be driving more this next few weeks, or that you need an oil change soon, and so you over budget so that way when that time comes, because sometimes it's unexpected, that you're in a comfortable situation, and that you have enough money moving into that month. And so having a plan, which is your budget, and implementing it. Try it out. It may not work, but it might. You don't know until you implement it. And that's why that E, the evaluate, is important. So taking time to reflect, is this working out? Is this not working out? What can I adjust? Maybe I can move money more into this category, or I, completely over budget and I cut it down a little bit over here. So that's what I would say, is to have some kind of plan. And I like that acronym.
That's a nice acronym. I would have never
Hmm.
thought about that. That'll
Yes,
work.
A pie. Yeah.
API. Y'all listen, y'all
Hmm.
better be taking notes. Look, I'm playing this back I don't know how many times because
Yes.
somebody need to tell me something. Because like I said, these questions are more for me than they are for y'all. Honestly, I'm being selfish.
Well, I'm glad, because I like you.
Hey, shout out to come on with it. Listen, I sure appreciate that.
Hmm.
Um, I agree that everybody's situation is different.
Right. Yeah.
Um, because what may work for somebody may not work for other people. Everybody has different income. Everybody has different expenses. But I like
Hmm.
how you have the acronym that can apply to any situation. I'm
Right.
definitely gonna implement that. I really like that. See, that's why I got you
Thank
on here.
you.
And the big question, why is it important to be debt free and how can you go about being debt free?
Yes. So it's important to be debt free. Just the journey alone, to have a better understanding of your financial situation and your habits, right? It helps gain control and knowledge of, like, who you are financially. So I learned that I'm a big saver. And so we talked about growing up, like, you may not have learned everything, and sat down and had conversations with your parents. Maybe you didn't. I didn't, but I did pick up on things that my parents were doing, right? As a child, you observe. And so I learned to save because I watched my parents save everything they had. um, and maybe someone may interpret that different, and they may realize that they're a big spender, right? Big spender. But so it's gaining control of your spending and being aware of who you are, and then being able to have the opportunity to put more money into the things that you want to put money into. So, for example, Ashton and I love to travel. And man, we've been traveling like every 3 months. We've been doing something crazy, like, not crazy, but last month we were actually in Guatemala and we hiked a volcano. And I never in my dreams did I think about hiking a volcano, but the opportunity, like, it's affordable, and I'm able to do that, and then backdoor, and then take a little road trip the next weekend, where it comes to a time where they joke and say, "Oh, you're visiting home," but it's because I have, I have the opportunity to do that with my finances. So and I just want to also say, like, eating. I love to eat. Everybody eats, whether you eat at home or you eat out. Um, Food costs money. And I can, even though, like, so I'm a saver, right? I have that mindset. If I wanted to go out to eat today, I could, even though I ate out yesterday because I was working late. But I had leftovers, so I ate today because that's how I am. But I know that I can do that because my money's in a different situation now, and I can afford that. Um, so your second question was, what are the best ways to do that? Um, I'm thinking about, you want to think about point A and point B, right? Point A, where are you? Where are you in your situation? And that means you have to sit down and list your loans. And we listed them by, like, lowest to highest. And some people might do it the other way, but I listed lowest to highest and I try to knock off the lowest first. And we also considered interest rates while we did that. So look over your expenses as well. So to look over your expenses and see, where is your money going, so that you can have a plan for it. So point A is, where are you? And point B is, where you want to be. And then you can figure out how you're going to get in between the two. And so how we did that, we used the snowball effect when we listed the loans. So we attacked the lowest loan, um, and we just pay the minimum on everything else. uh, there was there was different things that we did while doing that just to make it, I guess a bigger effect where we cut some things or we increase in income here and there. For example, selling your your things that you don't need, your furniture that you don't care for anymore, and so on. But that's what I would say is the best way about going about it is knowing where you are and where you want to go, and then figure out a plan.
I'm just sitting here like,
It's a lot, right? I'm sorry.
look, I love all of the knowledge because, like I said,
Yeah.
I am swimming in debt right now, and I am trying to get extra streams of income as much as possible. Like she said,
Yes.
food costs money,
Mm-hmm.
lots of money, and I don't like to cook.
Okay.
I do not like to cook, so going out to eat is what helped me. Was It's crazy. I just moved, so I
Mm-hmm.
moved to another condo, and
Mm-hmm.
where I moved, the only thing over here is Subway.
Mm-hmm.
There's no start. Like I have to drive maybe 12 minutes to get to the closest like fast food place or restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Versus where I was, it was like food everywhere.
Yeah. So is that
So
helping you?
that is helping me.
Because you don't want to drive.
Yeah, and I work from home.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like I never leave the house, which is why like I've cut down my Starbucks. I've cut
Mm.
down my fast food. I'm quick to eat noodles. I eat noodles and oatmeal every day. And I'm definitely seeing a change when I do my budget. I'm tedious to the point where I literally write down every transaction. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's the accounting in me. I don't know where I got that from.
Mm-hmm.
But in my budget book, I write down every transaction, but it helps
Yeah.
because if you add it up, it'll help you budget for the next month
Mm-hmm.
and then the next month. So you get to evaluate how much you spent from month to month.
Right.
Like, okay, I want to go lower. So I need to cut back on this, like fast food, coffee. I break it down into like what's biggest. So I think I do fast food, coffee, shopping, and then miscellaneous.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
it's
and I did that too. Like while we were going through our debt-free journey, I remember writing a lot of things. I had like a little book, and I would write everything in there. And of course, Ashton was more spreadsheet savvy than I was at the time, and he would always be keeping a bunch of spreadsheets. Um, but for me, it just was helpful to write it down. And I know even now there's so many apps and even like banking apps now tell you like, oh, you say, you don't spend as much this month. But to me, that's letting someone else evaluate me rather than me look in the mirror and evaluate myself.
mm,
So I find it very helpful as well to like get down and write it for myself.
yeah, that part. Because Origin sends me stuff saying I'm over budget. I'm like, who are you to tell me?
Okay, it's my money.
Yeah, like first of all, I got two other bank accounts that you don't know about. Like, why are you
Mhm.
over budget? I don't even know how to cut the feature off. Like, I'm like, how do I
Yeah.
cut this off? How did it even come on in the first place? Don't tell
Mhm.
me what I'm doing and not doing. Get out my business.
I mean, it could be helpful, the notifications, like a little nudge, like, "Oh, okay, let me see for myself though."
Yeah, like let me go in
Yeah.
my book. And I'm like you, I like to write stuff down. I am not spreadsheet savvy. The new job I got is definitely teaching me the hard way.
Oh.
So we're gonna leave that to Ashton. Ashton needs
Yeah.
to learn me something. Learn me something, Ashton. Show me how to
Mhm.
do something with these spreadsheets.
Yeah,
I'm
he's pretty
I
good.
always say he's finance, I'm accounting, and people don't realize that they're two different things.
Mhm.
They're not the same. They're the same, but they're different. Like finance is more spreadsheets and like really getting finances, and I think forecasting is a part of it.
Uh-huh.
Analyzing financials versus accounting, debits and credits.
Mhm.
That's it. I need to like debits and credits. What are you spending on what? What are you getting? And then I need to know your net profit and loss. Bam, there you go.
Sounds
That's
like you
it.
know what you're talking about.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Yes.
And also, my last question is, what motivation can you give for those that are struggling with financial issues like me? That is me.
Yeah.
Everybody listening to this
So
one. I am
I
she.
am sis.
I am she.
Yes. So all right, so I said that in 2018 we started, right? In November, we took a trip. My dream trip was to go to Cuba. So my father's family is from Cuba. My dad is from Cuba. Um, and he had not been there in 47 years. And so I took a trip out there. Unfortunately, for other medical issues, my parents couldn't go with us. So Ashton and I, we are adventurers. We like to travel. We went and we met his family in a very small town. It's Matanzas in Cuba, which is close to Havana. And they live off very little, very little. Um, it's like, they can only have so much food for the whole family within the month. And just seeing that when we went, you just realize that you really can, they were happy and they can live off so little. And that here in America, we live off so much excess, like a lot of things that we don't need. And so really going to Cuba just kind of lit a fire in us, because I think I was like kind of aware of like Dave Ramsey and that, but going to that trip and seeing our people live like that and be happy though. Like I don't want to say like I felt sorry for them or anything, but you just realize like we just have so much going on that we don't need, that we think brings happiness, that we think brings joy, and it doesn't, you know? So Cuba, that was very inspiring to me. And I came back as a minimalist, as an inspiring minimalist. Um, but the idea was so that I can be able to travel more, so that I can be able to go back and see my family, so that I can see other countries like that, or just go to the Bahamas for my birthday weekend and hang out, like just be on a resort catered to. So that was my inspiration, and just some motivation through it. Like, I know that during the journey, like, you think that you have so much debt right now and that you're drowning. But I remember in the thick of it all, like, I would tell myself that this was just temporary. Okay. So I would draw it out. Sometimes I would draw it out multiple times, where I'd be like, okay, if we pay this much this month and we do this much this month, and then here, okay, we should be done by December 2020. Okay, that's what I was telling myself. And at the end of all of our financial meetings, I would look at our progress. I wanted to end on a good note, because sometimes talking about money and, oh, we gotta do this and we gotta do that, it just gets a little upsetting. Like, right, like another chore, or like that you're climbing up this mountain that you can't see the top of. And so it was helpful to me that at the end of our meeting, I would say, okay, now we're at 40%. Oh, now we're at 53%. Like, so I can see, like, if even say I was like at 66%, and then I look back like, oh, last week we were at this percentage, because I need to see that we are moving in a direction. And so I think that was very helpful, because sometimes we're only looking straight and we forget to turn around and see, like, you've made some distance, you made some growth. And that is why I made those progress charts, because I was just doing it percentage wise, but I was like, it would be great. I'm a visual person. And I was like, it would be great if I would have had that. And so they're simple, yes, but I just think I like that it's customizable, because you can change it based off whatever amount your car loan is, right? If it's 17,000, or the other person can get it for their $9,000 car, and you can adjust your increments on those progress charts and hang it up wherever you want, because you need to see your goal every day. You need to stay focused. And so that's my second thing, is to stay focused, whether it's using a progress chart, or finding a support group. If you're on Facebook, find groups that, like, debt-free groups. I'm sure they're out there. Or what I did on social media for Instagram, you wake up and you scroll on social media every day. Why not, like, follow hashtag debt-free journey? Why not follow hashtag frugal ideas, or budget, grocery budget or something? Because people post things, you get ideas, or it's just going to help inspire, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing, or I could do that too, right? So it's just adding to a habit you already have. Like, you already go on Facebook, so follow that. You already go on Instagram, so just trick your mind into seeing those things more often. And then my third thing is to have fun with it. Have fun. Like things get difficult, and so find reasons to laugh or challenge yourself in a lighter way. And so that's why I would do like no spin days. And so there were times I was like, okay, I'm going to do 10 no spin days this month. And I would once I had a no spin day, I would write it on my calendar, like my dry erase calendar. And I feel like I had one, I had two. And if my goal was to get 10 or whatever, but for AV Winfree, I do choose one day out of the month. And sometimes I'll have our followers choose a day as well. And that's just so everybody's kind of accountable. Like I'm doing it, but I also know someone else following AV Winfree may be doing it.
It's almost
Yeah.
my birthday. She sent it to me on my birthday. I was like, I'm going to Cancun, so can't really
And
do
as you should.
can't
But
do
then you
it.
can just adjust it, right? And so how do you feel after no spin days, like when you accomplish it?
I feel good because I don't like when y'all first started doing them. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, how do you go a whole day without spending? But then I thought
Yeah.
about it like as fasting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fast. And so I was like, okay. And when you fast for a reason. And you
Yeah.
feel good afterwards. Like you feel good during it and afterwards. So for me, it's motivating and it reminds me that it's something that I can do.
Right.
And it's like I look forward to it because baby, they gonna send you a DM. They be in my DMs, and I love it. But first of all, I'm also on y'all social media anyway.
Yes.
I'm all on their social media. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and it's good that you can prepare. Like they send it to you ahead of time, so you
Yeah.
already know like what the day is. Like it's not like, oh, it's tomorrow. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have time to prepare. And
Right.
so once I started doing it, I was like, okay, I can do this. Like if I
Yeah.
can do it one day, I can do it more than one day.
Right.
Like
And so
so,
sometimes we'll push it up to three, but yeah, as many as you can do that month. Like just shoot, make a goal and shoot for it.
yep,
And even if you don't reach that goal, I mean, you still gain like the financial control. Like you were able to say no to Starbucks when you passed by that one day. You're like, nope, not today. And so yeah, sure, maybe you went and got it like the other day or so, but it's just like you build that habit that okay, I said no once, you might be able to say no again.
yeah, it's
So that's just something fun to do. I'm trying to think what else. Like just finding frugal things around the city to do. What are some free events that are happening? Or one reel I shared was like a pantry challenge, like trying to stretch whatever you have left in the pantry, and it's fun for me because I like cooking and making something out of nothing. Like I got some potatoes here, I got some tortillas. Okay, I'm gonna make a real hearty taco. Like so it's always fun, and maybe I won't be able to make that recipe ever again because I didn't write it down, but we had a good meal, and I was able to you're proud of something you make. So I think that pantry challenge can be fun as well. So yeah, um, that's a lot. So let me try to sum it up. So that Cuba was inspiring. So you can live off little.
yes,
So see what you can cut. Yeah. And then remembering that things are temporary, and to look at your progress because that will help motivate you to keep going. And then just having fun with it and staying focused.
I love
Yeah.
it. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely love it because I have a lot of debt, and it's like she said, it's drowning. It's like to the point where I literally feel like I'm drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like you closed in this box, like you can't do anything. Every time I have to make a credit card payment, like it's $400 a month for two maxed out credit cards. I'm like, you know what I can do with $400?
Right. That's what I was gonna say. And just imagine what you can do with it, and let that be your inspiration.
And I did it. I like Dave Ramsey too. I like AV Winfree
Mm-hmm.
more, but
Thanks. Thank you.
it's more
Thank you.
comfortable. Dave Ramsey is just like, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, guy. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I had I did the whole I didn't freeze my credit cards or cut them up.
Right.
It
Uh-huh.
was a reason I didn't cut them up. I can't think they were still attached to something, but I had my friend hold them. or I'll have my
Okay.
mom, like my mom saves for me because
Mhm.
if I do it in a bank account, I'm more likely to touch it.
Okay.
So I do like the cash envelopes, but I give them to my mom.
Mm.
Like, and my mom work at a bank, so she is like serious. I'm like, Mama, let me get $50 out of my savings. She's like, nope.
Mhm.
Like literally, the lights have to be about to get cut off for her to come off my money. I'm like,
Mm.
it's my money. She was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So that accountability helps as well.
I love it.
To
Yeah,
have
that's great.
somebody. So I'm trying
Mhm.
to get to debt free. I can do this. I got this. Y'all
Yes.
got this. Okay, y'all can do it.
Mhm.
Vanessa definitely gave way more information than I could have because I hit her up. I was like, "Look, I don't know what I'm talking about. I need an
Yeah.
expert. I need an expert, and I will be making my consultation appointment because yeah,
Yes,
I got some
ma'am.
personal issues y'all need to know about. That's what Vanessa.
We'll figure it out, girl. We're gonna figure it out.
Look, I need to do something, but
Yeah.
I want to let the people know the Instagram and where they can find y'all.
Yes. So on Instagram, it's at AV underscore Winfree. So A for Ashton, V for Vanessa, underscore Winfree, Winfree. It sounds like Oprah Winfrey, but spelled differently. Double E, no Y. And then on Facebook, it is the same thing. So AV space Winfrey.
Hey, I love it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, for
Hmm.
being on here, keeping it
Yes.
nice and short, but giving so much knowledge. Listen, I'm here
Yeah.
for it. I ain't missing nothing. You
Thank
just
you.
made my
Thank
life
you.
easier for this episode.
Yeah, so anybody can hit us up. We have a link tree and they can do a consultation as well. We do have financial meetings where we sit down with our clients. So after we do the financial meeting, because we want to get to know them and make sure that we can help them with whatever their goals are. Um, and then we have a financial meeting with them, and it's about an hour and a half because we do have some homework. We got to look over your finances, and we make a plan for you and we talk it over. And then afterwards, after like 4 to 6 weeks, we meet again and we figure out, did it work? What can we change? So it's kind of following that API thing again, right? So we make a plan, then the client goes and they implement it, and then we come back and we evaluate what worked, what didn't work, what can we adjust. Um, and that's that. So we do have a few other things because some people know more than others. And so maybe they already have a budget and they just want to talk to us for a quick 30 minutes. And
Yeah.
so we have that coaching chat as well. So you can call us up, ask us questions. And yeah,
I am she. That'll be me.
yeah. And then just some projects. So we talked about that progress chart. Um, that's also available. And then we have the expense tracker as well, which is just a pre-formulated spreadsheet. You just plug in all your numbers, you see your percentages, you can see, oh, wow, I spend a lot in food or, whatever it may be. For me, it's food. I love to eat.
Nothing wrong with that. Wait a minute, I'm slipping on the game because I
You
ain't
don't have
using.
that? I thought you got that. The
I
expense
got the
tracker.
desktop background, the progress charts. How I missed the? You know what? I need to
Yeah.
do better in life.
I'm gonna shoot that one to you. That was one of our first ones. Yes.
Oh, you gotta send that to me. I need
Mm-hmm.
that. I need everything in my life,
Yeah. And
all of
so,
it.
yeah, I love it. It's good. We still use it. So it's good. I mean, it's like looking in the mirror. It's like
Mm,
looking at yourself naked, actually, because you're like,
yep.
oh, I did what?
Nothing wrong with it. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a
So,
good one. I like it. I
hmm.
love it. Well,
Yeah.
again, thank you, Vanessa, for
Yes,
joining
ma'am.
us. I hope that was helpful to you guys. I hope y'all learned something. Make sure, again, y'all was taking notes. If you didn't take notes, go back and play it again and again and again. Get that motivation because let me tell you, I listen to my own
Hmm.
podcast and I'm definitely going to play this one over and
Thank you
over
so
again.
much for having us or having me here.
All right. So again, thank you so much, Miss Vanessa, Mrs. Excuse me, Vanessa Winfree. She is a close friend of mine, and so is Ashton. Shout out to you guys. I really appreciate you being on the podcast and giving so much great knowledge on the finances, on budgeting, on debt, life after debt, motivation, inspiration, all of that. Okay, we need all of that. So, thank y'all so much for listening to this episode of Finance Friday. And I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.